I have been sitting here thinking about our Carolina Panthers, and honestly, it is time we discuss the 3 elite free agents still on the market that could immediately stabilize our roster. CBS Sports recently highlighted that high-level talent like Jadeveon Clowney, Matt Milano, and Bobby Wagner remain unsigned, and we need to be aggressive before camp begins. Bringing in these veterans is the difference between a rebuilding year and a real playoff push. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. I'm Lucas, so please like, subscribe, and comment your city below. Let's get into it. With training camps looming across the league, the Carolina Panthers find themselves in a position where the roster could still use some meaningful upgrades before the season kicks off. CBS Sports analyst Carter Bands recently published a list of the top 100 remaining free agents, highlighting 8 individuals who are currently unsigned and could provide immediate value for our team. Among those identified as prime targets for Dave Canales and David Tepper are 3 familiar names that have fans buzzing about depth. First, there is the potential reunion with Jadeveon Clowney, who logged 8.5 sacks last year. While he is no longer considered a premier pass rusher, his ability to generate pressure remains a significant asset for a group that struggled immensely last season. And honestly, adding veteran insurance behind Jalen Phillips and Nick Scorton is a sensible strategy to stabilize our defensive front. Beyond the edges, the linebacker room requires attention alongside Devin Lloyd. Both Matt Milano and Bobby Wagner are listed as viable contributors. Milano offers seasoned playoff experience, while Wagner proved he has plenty left in the tank by securing 79 solo tackles during the 2025 campaign. Many supporters feel a mix of optimism and anxiety regarding these choices, because while we made aggressive moves this offseason, there is a clear fear that our depth at key positions is still too thin to survive a grueling stretch of games. The fan base recognizes that these veterans could be the difference between a competitive year and another rebuilding effort. Yet we are left wondering about the financial feasibility and the long-term vision. This brings us to a pressing concern that changes everything. How exactly would these veteran personalities fit into the specific defensive schemes Dave Canales is implementing behind the scenes as we look toward the season opener? The most surprising reality is that David Tepper and his staff have allowed such critical depth gaps to linger while the season sits right on the doorstep. We are currently watching a roster transition that mirrors past mistakes, specifically when we failed to secure reliable veterans to anchor our defense during training camp transitions. History tells us that leaving these spots vacant until late July often leads to mid-season scrambling, a path this organization has walked too many times before. The front office likely believes that internal competition will spur growth, but at the cost of potential stability for Dave Canales in his first year. And the more I look at this, the logic of waiting seems to clash with the immediate need for a veteran presence in our secondary and linebacker core. Think back to those seasons where our lack of experience cost us crucial third down stops. We cannot afford a repeat performance. With training camps across the NFL opening, the availability of proven commodities like Matt Milano is a gift we should not ignore. Milano has shown he can clear the 50 tackle mark, providing a level of reliability that our current depth chart simply lacks. Furthermore, seeing someone like Bobby Wagner still on the market is jarring, especially given his 79 solo tackles in 2025. Adding a player of that caliber would change the entire temperament of our defense, providing a mentorship role that cannot be measured in a stat sheet. Behind closed doors, our decision-makers are surely weighing the salary cap against the desire for immediate wins, but at this stage, the risk of injury to our young starters is a massive gamble. We need to stop prioritizing future flexibility over current competitiveness and bring in the seasoned talent that separates good teams from those that just hope for the best. As we approach the heat of training camp, the window for Carolina to finalize a championship-caliber roster is beginning to shrink, making these late-stage free agent acquisitions absolutely vital for our long-term success. While the front office has been busy, adding a proven commodity like Jadeveon Clowney or a veteran presence like Bobby Wagner is about securing insurance for a defensive unit that struggled significantly last season. By bringing in a player who notched 8.5 sacks or a consistent tackler with 79 solo stops in 2025, we are not just adding depth, we are fundamentally raising the floor of our entire defensive front and second level. And I cannot stress this enough. The difference between a fringe playoff contender and a legitimate threat often comes down to the reliability of your rotational pieces when injuries inevitably strike mid-season. With Devin Lloyd leading our linebacker core, adding someone like Matt Milano or Wagner provides the tactical veteran leadership necessary to survive grueling late-season matchups against our toughest divisional opponents. These signings would shift our defensive standing within the division, transforming us from a team that leaks yards into a disciplined unit capable of closing out tight games in the fourth quarter. This strategic depth is the difference maker when preparing for the high-pressure environment of playoff football, ensuring that when we face our rivals, we are not relying on untested talent to hold the line. If we want to move beyond the building phase under Dave Canales, we have to capitalize on these unsigned talents before they land elsewhere. By reinforcing these specific gaps right now, we provide the stability needed to compete for a division title, turning a promising defensive experiment into a consistent, winning reality that every one of us expects to see on the field this coming season. As we look toward the upcoming season under head coach Dave Canales and owner David Tepper, it is clear that our front office needs to keep evaluating the market to build a roster capable of competing. According to CBS Sports analyst Carter Bands, there are still high-value players available who could make a significant difference for this franchise. The strongest argument for pursuing veterans like Jadeveon Clowney, Matt Milano, or Bobby Wagner is the immediate infusion of experience and proven production into our defensive unit. Bringing back Clowney, who logged 8.5 sacks last year, would provide a reliable safety net for a pass rush that struggled immensely last season. What makes this even bigger is the potential to solidify our linebacker core, as both Milano and Wagner offer the kind of seasoned leadership that helps younger players develop under pressure. The downside, of course, is that these veterans are in the later stages of their careers, and relying on older players can sometimes hinder the long-term growth of younger prospects like Trevin Wallace. Furthermore, the financial commitment for a player like Wagner, who recorded 79 solo tackles in 2025, might not align with our current salary cap strategy. My honest take here is that while the media buzz surrounding these names is encouraging, we should be cautious about overpaying for past production. I believe the team should prioritize signing a player like Clowney for a rotational role rather than investing heavily in a veteran linebacker who might see a sharp decline in speed. While analysts are right to point out that these three are viable contributors, we need to ensure any move we make fits the specific identity that Coach Canales is building. Adding these pieces could bridge the gap, but only if the price remains reasonable and the scheme fit is truly perfect for our defense. Building a championship roster requires patience and a sharp eye for value, and the Carolina Panthers are clearly aiming to stabilize their foundation for the coming seasons by prioritizing experience depth. What nobody is talking about is how these specific veteran signings represent a shift toward high-floor reliability, ensuring that younger players have mentors who understand the rigors of a full NFL schedule. We should feel encouraged heading into the season because this front office is clearly committed to winning now, rather than waiting for long-term development to pay off. By targeting proven contributors like Jadeveon Clowney, Matt Milano, or Bobby Wagner, the team provides necessary insurance for the pass rush and the linebacker core. These additions bring grit, playoff experience, and the technical savvy required to improve on last year's defensive standing. It is reassuring to see the organization refuse to settle for complacency, even after an aggressive offseason. The goal is to build a culture where every roster spot is held by a professional capable of making a tangible impact when their number is called. We have seen how quickly injuries can derail a promising season, so fortifying the middle of the defense and the edge is a masterstroke in roster management. This strategic approach signals a franchise that is serious about competing in every single matchup, rather than just hoping for internal improvement. Looking at these three specific free agents, which one would you prioritize signing to solidify our defense for the upcoming year? Clowney, Milano, or Wagner? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Keep pounding. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into our team's offseason moves as we prepare for a major championship run.